Welcome back, everyone. This is Austin Doctor, and welcome to another theory thing where we're gonna go through, a couple stuff. And I'd like to say the background, I didn't control that one. I don't hate, Ichigo. I adore every character in that. But yeah, let's start getting to the next one because this is starting to get really awkward, and that wasn't me. Okay, wasn't me. But yeah, let's get to our first couple of theories, and we're gonna get to the crazy ones. The mirror that Hiro gave her. We literally see that, then we see this. Now, let's go through a couple theories, and I'm going to use actual kind of like logic that I had to look up. A mirror usually represents the truth and someone's reflection of their soul, and I feel that it has to do with something about, Zero Two's background, and I really feel that Zero Two does not like herself, and as we saw in episode 9, she kind of was distant, but she kind of had this fake smile. I don't know why. My gut feeling tells me there's something up with her, that she's feeling guilty, and something's going on. And it's kind of interesting because we have that, then we see. And by the way, this is all taken from the entire anime and the intro, because most of the time the intros to animes or the openings usually have a lot of key stuff that they have in the anime, and we're not that far into the anime, so this kind of has some stuff that we could theorize about, so bear with me. We see after, like, towards the end that Zero Two kind of breaks apart from hers, stretches the lip. Well, I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try to. It's going to be horrible. Her Franxx, and lands into Hiro's arms. And see, that's the recurring theme, that Hiro is the one that only accepts who she is for who she is, and she always goes to him, no matter what happens. As we saw with the girls versus boys, or the girls cross boys episode, she didn't care about the rules. She just went there. She just talked to Hiro because, Hiro is her person, and Hiro has her, and he adores her because he sees the good in her. And my theory is that mirror, she looked at it looked into it as we saw in the last episode, and kind of just isn't happy with herself. She doesn't feel that she's good enough for Hiro, and quite honestly, we might see her kind of try to escape or hide from Hiro because she doesn't feel that she's worth to him. She's not enough for him, that she doesn't deserve him, and she kind of has this self-esteem issue. It's kind of ironic because she is cocky, but that's kind of the normal thing you would see with a person that's cocky. They're cocky to protect their own personality. And I'm being honest, I know this sounds really sappy. Zero Two is probably in a lot of pain because of her past. And the fact that Hiro is like, I want to know more about you, kind of opened that wound up and kind of made her feel that she can talk about it. And she's kind of remembering since that entire thing of what happened, and it's just bugging her. And quite honest, it's kind of sad because that's kind of probably what's going on with that mirror thing. And I know people are going to say she's going to die, and that's another theory. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just being real. As people that are usually saying that haven't read the previous author's writing, and I know it's made by A1 and Trigger Studio, but To Love Ru was made by A1. I don't know about Trigger Studio. I haven't looked that one up, but it's kind of not going to happen because that author does not do tragedy. He does not like tragedy. Only if it's like a background, as I usually say to my friends. It's just it doesn't fit his style. And if it wouldn't kill you guys to actually know some background about the writer if you are going into a new anime, just to understand what's his style so you don't get completely blindsided. But that's that theory. There's another theory. It's kind of due with this one. She kind of really hates herself. She honestly really hates that she can't get rid of the horns, and it's a self-esteem issue. That's pretty much what I'm going to revolve the entire mirror and horns thing. She doesn't like her horns. She doesn't feel that she is human enough, and kind of Hiro is the one that kind of makes her feel comfortable using her going to Hiro's arms, because he understands her and he's willing to give up his time to enjoy his time with her. And it's kind of a little depressing because it would be kind of the first almost time in the anime that we see that's not in a movie. I know we have a silent voice, but to see a character that's really cocky but is really hiding a lot of pain, and she doesn't like herself to the point that she just doesn't feel good, and she just puts this cocky attitude to cover up her strong front. Kind of a strong front thing, kind of cover up her weakness, which is she doesn't like herself, and she hears people calling her a monster, and it just gets to her. And that mirror shattering just represents that she kind of is going into the dark side after all that, because she wants to be human just for Hiro. And it's kind of adorable. That's why I like that relationship. But that's my theory with that one. Another one, I know this is very far off. This is what I don't really care to talk about these ones, but I might as well just put it in here. But my theory is that there's someone in the group, or the group is going to start to call her a monster at some point, and it's going to make her go crazy, and she's going to snap. But Hiro's going to be the only one to calm her down. And that mirror shattering is kind of, as I keep saying, she doesn't want, it's her going berserk. That's that theory. Now, another one, this is going to be in between. The mirror shattering is her rejection of herself, basically. That's another theory, as I said in the previous one. But going on to the crazier one, that, you know, Hiro is going to be stolen from her because of the 9, which we saw the guy, the blonde girl, or guy, whoever it is, but is going to kind of steal Hiro because he was a test subject from 02, and 02 is going to snap. Because the only reason why that kind of works is because 02 can pilot by herself, just not as well with anyone else. But you'll see her kind of go berserk for finally, and it'd be interesting. But those are the theories about the mirror kind of breaking and the mirror itself. So let's get on to the next one. The 9, which we only see 8 right here. My theory is these guys are kind of the elite guards, and they kind of protect Dr. Franxx and his research. And as I said in my previous ones, if a rebellion happens in 02 and Hiro leave and escape, they're going to kind of hunt them down. That's that theory. Now, another theory is that they really don't like 02, and they want to completely make her life a living hell because she is better than most of them in the group. And Dr. Franxx likes her because she's 02, I guess. But that's that theory. Another theory, too, is Dr. Franxx is 02's father. And it wouldn't be far from it. Honestly, I kind of see it. And I know my buddy and I were talking, and he brought up a good point that the reason why he told Hiro not to get connected to her is because she might turn her into a monster, and that's kind of why he has his face, and it was his wife's fault, or 02's mother's fault, that he has that kind of face, and he did that research to kind of help her, and he's afraid that's going to happen to Hiro. That's that theory. I kind of like that theory, but let's go on to another one that it's just the 9 really want Hiro. As we can see, there's about 4 girls and 4 guys, and we're missing 1 person. And Hiro is this experiment that Dr. Franxx really worked hard on, and he wanted Hiro to be like go up there, and that's why he doesn't want 02 and Hiro to get too connected, because he wants to launch Hiro to the front lines with them. And 02 is kind of the person that's there, kind of to be. She's protected. That's how I see it. Kind of like, as my theory said before, that 02 is Dr. Franxx's daughter. That's that theory. But another theory, too, is going back, if you wanted to go back to the photo, but I memorized all these photos. The 3 girls in the back are clones. And they kind of remind me of 02. And my theory is those are like 02's clones or sisters. And they're going to play probably a good big part, because we haven't really seen them yet. And I feel that the 9 are really trying to get Hiro away from 02 so they can take in Hiro. Because they see that he is actually the only person that can really withstand a beating with 02, and they see that he's worth more than 02 in the sense. Even though 02 can pilot by herself, Hiro is that guy that really could make the big difference. And I hate to say it, as much as I want to support this, that Hiro is and 02 are a perfect couple, they really are. But I feel that they don't realize that Hiro is not good without 02. And that's what the relationship is, and I think that's going to be a big part in the future. as I said, Hero might be captured by them, and Zero Two is going to flip, kind of thing. That's what I'm gonna go with so far. But there's something up with those girls in the back. They're like a clone or sisters, and they have to be related to Zero Two, or they're all probably the same old squad with Zero Two that got tested on. And I'm pretty sure they have high numbers, which is single digits, because the 9. But anyways, let's get on to the next picture, which is this one. As you can see, there's like a 3, 2, 5 on that back one, but it seems that photo right there kind of shows that Hero was a part of a test group. And as we heard before, that he talked about these kids going missing and never coming back, and Hero was probably part of that extreme program that he's the only survivor, but they didn't think it worked. That's why they kind of let Dr. Franxx isn't as prevalent as he used to be. He's still there. He's a good doctor, but he's not allowed to do his research projects as much as he used to because of that failed project. And Hero is the only successful thing, in a sense. And they kind of just let him go because he's alive, and the rest died. And they couldn't do anything. And the reason why I say that is because we don't see many people with those haircuts or anyone that kind of has that power. And it's kind of that theory that Hero is an experimental person that they didn't know that was actually a success, but declared it was a failure, but he lived. So they kind of, as I said, let him go. They let him do his life, and they didn't really expect him to live that long, because he would be piling with the wrong person, kind of just die. That's the premise of this anime, that we hear Zero Two talk about. These people just die. They just get made to die. They're soldiers to die. And it's a little upsetting, but it's the truth. But going into a little more theories is those 9 probably were there kind of as the guard unit, and Hero had his mind wiped. It has to be. That's like the only way I can see that happen, because the blonde guy, I keep forgetting his name. I don't think he said his. No, you'll know my name. That's what he said. Is kind of, he got close with Hero and kind of was his friend throughout the entire project. But Hero either got his mind wiped or refuses to remember the past because it was too painful of that entire experiment. And that could be possibly one of the things. But basing all that stuff is because when the guy, literally, or girl, said, you'll remember my name, or you'll know my name, he kind of has that hope that he will remember Hero, because he was a bit too formal with him, or not formal, he was too friendly. Like, he knew him, he was a buddy, and I'll argue with anyone, that guy literally looked at Hero, not Zero Two. Zero Two was away from the group, and he said, it looks like you're getting along, 9 Loda. And people... congratulations to the people on Reddit, because they're amazing. They flipped the entire thing, and it literally is like 016, and that's Hero's number, if you didn't know. And there's this weirdness that Hero probably doesn't remember something, and 02 doesn't know either, or does, and that's why she kind of seeked him out. But there's something going on behind the scenes, honestly. But that's that theory. Now let's get on to the crazier ones. My theory, well, without, these are the ones without the photos, because I can't have photos for everything. My theory is that 02, the reason why she has her horns is because her mom was probably the same thing as she was. Then Dr. Franxx is her father, as I said, and she kind of almost killed Dr. Franxx while being pregnant with 02, and he saved her, saved 02, but had to kill, the mom, and that's why he kind of is a bit cold, but a little pervy. But you know what? Old people are usually pervy in the anime, so without a doubt, that it doesn't really support much. But that's that theory. These are kind of blank theories without much, background with them. But it's just, there's something going on with Hero and 02. The main reason probably why they get along so well and they work so well together is because they have probably one of the worst past, and we have yet to learn about either. And then we get to see little bits and fragments of Heroes with other people's, as we saw with Ichigo and Goro's. But yeah, now another theory that this is a little lighthearted one, besides the deep and heavy ones, that next couple episodes we're going to see Ichigo kind of really confess to Hiro, and Hiro does not care. I'm just going to be completely flat out brutal with you guys. Hiro does not care about Ichigo like that. He thinks her as a sister as he saw, and that's why he keeps avoiding it, in a sense. He knows about it, he avoids it to keep that relationship because he doesn't want to make it awkward. And as Goro told him, it just didn't seem that it fazed Hiro. It kind of, he's like, okay, whatever. And people argue he was surprised. That wasn't really a surprise because he was probably like freak out a lot more, as we saw with, Ichigo. And people towards the end of that episode said that Goro got friend-zoned. I don't think he did. He got Emilia'd. Basically, he confessed and she didn't know what it meant, and she basically told him to wait for him in this indirect way. And once she confesses to Hiro rejects her, obviously, she goes to Goro, and it's finally going to be that thing that Goro kind of wants. And I don't think he's going to die, even though you people want him to die for some damn reason. I don't know why. That's going to happen. And everyone really already has their partner, and that's their parasite person that rides in the Franxx with them. So it's kind of cool to see that in effect. But going on to another one, there's a really crazy one that Hiro is a time-traveling Dr. Franxx. That my friend told me that I couldn't stop laughing because I'm just like, oh my god. What are people smoking these days? Because that's just ridiculous. Oh, God. Now, another really weird and kind of I wouldn't be surprised theory is that 02 is Hiro's sister. Or cousin. And they don't know. Or another, ending that theory, going into another kind of thing that will make you think a little bit is, what if 02 and Hiro were actually in the same program? But she was on the opposite side, and they kind of knew each other, but they kind of forgot each other. And that's why they kind of connected so well. And he wasn't really shocked by her horns. And they kind of had that group. And Hiro was part of the 9 without remembering. And the people kind of... I know the uppers probably said it was a failed project. And it seems that they know that he failed, but he was promised to be in the 9, and he was supposed to be powerful. So that's why, we see that guy, the blonde guy or girl, know that who Hiro is. And going to, the whole theory, and people are going to say 02 or Hiro are going to die. I don't think they're going to die. If they do die, they can't make another season. Because, it's Darling in the Franxx. Not Franxx, because there's no I. Remember that. But it's just... why would you kill the Darling, which is Hiro, and the Franxx 02? I mean, yes, they kind of can... I honestly like when they kind of don't focus so hard on the main two people, but if you kill those off, you kill everything. And it's stupid if... I don't think that author would do that. Maybe Trigger would push him, but he'd probably tell him to screw off, which I fully support if he does. But going on to more crazy theories, Hiro possibly, as I said in my previous ones, is going to get captured because 02 is going to try to rebel against everyone and force everyone to come with her, kind of thing. And she's going to go berserk, as I said. Then another one is that Ichigo is going to lose her commanding position as the squad leader. I have a feeling that's going to happen because we saw in the newest episode that people are kind of just noticing that she's just too bossy and she doesn't know how to do anything, she just runs. And that kind of hurt her a bit, as we saw, and she got angry with everyone. Because when you say something like that and they get angry, it's usually the truth and it bothers them. But, as I said, we have to wait until the next episode to see anything like this go on. But, I'm going to close this entire theory video up with everything. I'm going to leave you off with, I don't think anyone's going to die. They're going to get close to death, but no one's really going to die. And 02 and Hiro are going to be probably together, and they're going to be a couple, but someone's going to get captured in that couple. I don't know who yet. And Goro and Ichigo are going to have their relationship develop more since the newest episode, and we're going to see more people, kind of the others develop with their people. But that's the things I'm going to leave you off with, I guess. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this video. I like doing these things, and I'm not I know people are going to try to say I'm milking Darling the Franxx. No, I just wanted to do 2 videos before the next episode comes out, and I just wanted you guys to enjoy this content, because some of you just actually want this, and I'm like, okay, I'll make it, because I enjoy it. But anyways, guys, I will see you later. This is Austin the Doctor, signing out. Peace.